The Supreme Court rejected a request to block a federal mask mandate for air travel. President Biden's executive order requires all passengers on airplanes and other public transportation to wear masks. A father filed an emergency application challenging the mandate on behalf of his autistic son. The father and son were turned away from air flights. The father says his 4-year-old son suffers from a rare form of autism and is unable to wear a mask for extended periods of time. As of now, 20% of the U.S. population has had the CCP virus infection at some point in time. Data from Johns Hopkins University shows that 66 million Americans have had the virus since the pandemic began. 4 million, or about 1%, have been hospitalized. The number of asymptomatic cases is unknown. That means the percentage of infected Americans is likely higher. 63% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated, but the vaccination rate varies by region. Meanwhile, almost all states say that 99.9% of those 65 and over have received at least one dose. The Biden administration has quietly launched its website, covidtest.gov, today. U.S. residents could sign up for free and receive 4 free COVID tests, and orders will start to ship in late January. Senator Rand Paul was highly critical in a tweet on Monday directed at the TV provider Directv. The TV service provider recently canceled conservative channel One America News Network, otherwise known as OANN. The Republican senator from Kentucky said in his tweet, "Directv is canceling OANN, so I just canceled my home Directv. Why give money to people who hate us?" Bloomberg disclosed last Friday that Directv will not renew its distribution deal with OANN when it expires at the end of April. Directv is a subsidiary of AT&T. On Monday, OANN began appealing to the public, saying cancel culture in news is unacceptable. Directv is OANN's largest and most important distributor, and some see the cancellation as a form of ideological censorship. America is facing a worker shortage in space. The watchdog for NASA says it is concerned the agency does not have enough astronauts for its future missions. NASA recently released a report on the astronaut corps. It found this fiscal year NASA faces a shortfall in the number of astronauts needed for missions, including trips to the International Space Station. The report warns if the issue isn't fixed, NASA faces crew disruptions and mission delays. This Thursday marks President Biden's first year in the White House. A new Gallup survey shows that Republicans gained a large number of voters over the last year. What could that mean for the upcoming midterms and for President Biden? The midterm elections are about 10 months away. All seats in the House and at least 34 seats in the Senate will be up for election. One analyst believes the chance of Republicans winning the House is almost a given.
This is likely to be a tidal wave of Republican victories in November. So I think there's probably nothing Biden can do about that.
A new Gallup survey shows that Republicans gained a large number of voters in 2021, although the year started out with more voters identifying as Democrat. By the end of the year, 47% identified as Republican or leaning Republican, compared to 42% who identified as Democrat or leaning Democrat. Gallup attributes the drop in Democratic support to plunging approval ratings for President Biden, while experts say it's due to unity among Republicans.
They're still standing strong behind Trump because of many reasons, and that gives them the power of being unified. And that's the weakness of the Democratic Party, and therefore the weakness or the vulnerability of President Joe Biden.
Recently, Biden's overall approval rating hit an all-time low. The key issues include the economy, foreign policy, and the pandemic.
How Biden can find a way out of that. And quite frankly, I mean, I talked to many experts, I talked to many people on the ground, and there is little light at the end of the tunnel.
Like the Gallup surveys, recent polls on the generic congressional vote show a shift in support, with Republicans now slightly ahead. The Golden State Warriors co-owner Chamath Palihapitiya is now in hot water after saying that nobody cares about persecuted Uyghurs in China.
Nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs, okay? You bring it up because you really care, and I think that's nice that you care. The rest of us don't care. I'm just telling you a very hard.
Wait,
I'm
you're
telling
saying
you
you
a very,
personally don't care?
I'm telling you a very hard, ugly truth. Okay, of all the things that I care about, yes, it is below my line.
The partial owner of the Golden State Warriors said in a podcast when the co-host brought up a recent U.S. ban on products from Xinjiang over forced labor. This clip drew wide attention and broad criticism on social media. Boston Celtics center Enes Kanter Freedom called Palihapitiya's comments a shame. He wrote, "When genocides happen, it is people like this that let it happen." And Senator Ted Cruz said on Twitter, all that matters to them is more money from the CCP. Late on Monday, Palihapitiya walked back his comments, stating that, I quote, recognize that I come across as lacking empathy.